Hey Cedar, it's Monday. It's time for you to go to work. Okay, well, I guess I'll go to work then and make money to buy you treats and you just hang out there. Yeah. Bye. So if you want to be like Cedar and be financially free and say peace out to your coworkers, peace out to your boss, peace out to whoever you work with, walk out the door and you will never have to work another day in your life to generate income, then this video is for you. Today I'm going to teach you the 5 stages of financial independence, how to go from completely broke or even worse than broke, even in debt, all the way to financially free. Financial freedom doesn't have to be this pipe dream that seems impossible. I mean, it did at one point even for me when I was saddled with student debt and loans. It seemed like I was never going to be able to dig myself out of that hole. And I think a really common problem is people will focus on the very end goal of financial independence when they're first starting out, and that makes it seem like such a mountain to climb and such an insurmountable task. But if you break it down to each individual stage, it makes it so much more manageable. It gives you much more realistic goals that you can achieve for the stage that you're at, and you'll get less discouraged along the way because the goals don't seem so far out of touch. Some people might move through a certain stage really quickly, and other people might take more time, maybe even years to work through a stage. And all of that is okay. What matters is that you're generally making progress and going in the right direction. Stage 1 is the debt accumulation stage. In this stage, you have a lot of liabilities and pretty much no assets, so you are in debt. Your net worth is very negative. This is typically the student age, or it might be a stage where you already have a job but you have a lot of consumer debt and the income that you're earning is not enough to pay down more than the minimums on that debt. So essentially in this stage, as time is going on, your debt is getting bigger and bigger and bigger for one reason or another, and you either have no income, like if you're a student, or you have very little income relative to the amount of debt that you have. So the money you're making is not enough to service the debt. Here you're basically underwater. Saving and investing is not even on the radar. The only goal that you have to focus on in this stage is to gain a source of income if you don't have one. So if you're a student, that would be like getting your first job. If you already have a job and you have a lot of consumer debt that you can't service, then your goal should be to either increase your income, maybe get a different job, or reduce your living expenses like housing, car, food, things like that, so that you're more able to service that debt. And once you have that, you've graduated from this stage and you can move on to stage number 2. Stage number 2 is the reversal stage. Now you've gained a source of income if you didn't have one, or you've increased your income if you already had a job, and now you have more cash coming in so that you can start aggressively paying down the debt. You're probably early in your career at this stage, so you're probably not making a ton of money. So it's really important to focus on minimizing your living expenses in order to spend more of the cash that you have coming in on your debts. What can be really helpful to decrease your living expenses is to live with roommates to reduce your cost of living, or live with your parents. Cook your meals at home by yourself. Try to avoid having an expensive car at this stage or take public transportation. Think of those big expenses that you can reduce month to month. And if you can save a couple $100s a month this way and instead put that on your debt, you are going to be so far ahead in debt repayment in a couple years compared to if you just spend that money right now on your lifestyle. When you're looking at your debts in this stage, you want to focus by paying down the debts that have the highest interest on them first. So typically that's going to be your credit card debts, which are around 20% interest, possibly your car loans and any payday loans if you've taken those out. And then once you've chipped away at those, take a look at the rest of the debts you have and see what interest you're paying. Student loans, for example, typically have pretty low interest rates. So if you have student loans and credit card debt at the same time, focus on paying down the credit card debt first, even though the balance on the student loans might be higher. You're just going to get farther ahead this way. Now, if you find yourself stuck at this stage where you've minimized your expenses of your lifestyle as much as possible and you're paying down your debts month to month, but you don't really notice that balance of your debt is decreasing as fast as you'd like over time, your options then are to start looking for ways to increase your income. So you need to increase the amount of cash that's coming in. If you keep your lifestyle the same and the cash that's coming in goes up, then you can use more of that cash to pay down the debt faster. The goal of this stage is to get your liabilities towards zero. So you're trying to get to net zero net worth. Whereas in the previous stage, your net worth was very negative and the negative was increasing. This stage, now using your income, you're paying down that debt, and so the liabilities are getting less and less and less. And you may not start investing in any assets at this stage, and that is totally okay. As long as you are working on paying down the liabilities, that's going to really help you going forward in the future stages of financial independence, because you're not going to have those liabilities tying you down and the debt and the interest payments due every month. Once you're close to paying all your debts off, or you've paid them off completely, congratulations, that is an amazing accomplishment, and you are ready to move to stage number 3. Stage 3 is the accumulation stage. Here now you have way less debts tying you down. You may have been working for a few years now, and so your income may have increased through raises and promotions. And now the cash flow that you have coming in is far greater than what your expenses are to live every month and the amount of debt payments that you have every month, or your debt payments might be zero. So this is a really exciting stage. You finally feel like all your hard work over the years of minimizing your expenses and maximizing your debt repayments, now you finally have something to show for it. You have positive cash flow. At this stage, this is when you can start investing in assets like stocks, ETFs, real estate, and your net worth is becoming increasingly positive over time, meaning that now you have way more assets than you do liabilities. And this stage is really exciting because maybe if you're a student, you've put in all those years of studying, you've now paid off the debts, and now you finally have that paycheck coming in every month. It feels great, and you're no longer sending that entire paycheck right back to the bank to pay down the debt. Now it's yours and you can do something with it. And honestly, it's an amazing feeling. But at this stage, now you really have a decision to make. You have cash in front of you. You can either take that cash now and blow it on your lifestyle by buying fancy cars, boats, horses, and blowing all that money and just spending it every month, buying the biggest house, the nicest car, or you can take that extra cash flow and use it for saving and investing. And if you pick option number 2, which is taking the cash flow and using it to save and invest over blowing it on your lifestyle, first of all, congratulations. But you're also probably now starting to open tax-advantaged investment accounts. So that would be like a TFSA investment or an RRSP investment if you're here in Canada. You're starting now to put money into those accounts and invest with that money in those accounts month to month. That now your net worth can really start to accumulate. It may not be accumulating exponentially yet, but if you stick with it every month and take that cash flow and invest it and invest it and invest it and do it over again, then you get to graduate to stage number 4. Stage number 4 is the snowball stage. So now you've had a job and you've chosen to save and invest, and you've been doing that for a couple years now, and your net worth is really starting to accumulate. Your assets are going up and up and up, and you have very few liabilities. Congratulations, this is an amazing accomplishment this far. And even if you got to only this point, you are so much farther ahead than the average person. The reason I call this the snowball stage is because now things aren't just accumulating like the previous stage, but now things are getting exponential. And what I mean by that is, in the previous stage, most of the money that you were investing, if you looked at your total portfolio, the value of that portfolio would be mostly from money that you've put in, and your money hadn't really been making you much money until that point. But in this stage, you're getting to the point where not only are you investing the money that you're putting in, but now your money is starting to make you money as well. So if you looked at your portfolio, a much larger percentage of your portfolio is now money that your money has made you. And just like you've been doing up until this point, if you take that money that your money has made you and reinvest that money, That's where things start to get really exponential, and it happens in this stage. This stage, it just honestly feels awesome. This is the stage that I'm at, and you literally just feel like a free bird. You feel like you have wings and you could just fly away, watching everything grow and all of your hard work. You really have something to show for it now. So the goal of this stage is to just keep doing what you're doing. You've gotten to this point because you've made really good decisions over time, and you just need to keep making those good financial decisions. The only difference really with this stage is most likely your income now has increased because you've been in the workforce for a while. And so if you can take that increase in income and invest it as opposed to spending it on your lifestyle, that's going to increase the exponential factor as well, because now not only is your money making you money, but you're making you money, and your increased income is also making you money. So you've got so many things working in your favor here. Just wait until you get to the stage, because it will feel amazing. And watching this passive income accumulate is really exciting. Once you start getting above 80% of your financial independence number, that's when you're getting really close to the next stage, which I think you guessed it, is stage number 5. It is financial independence. Eureka, we've made it to financial independence. Now you're at the point where you have enough money invested into assets that you can say peace out to your coworkers, peace out to your boss, peace out to whoever you work with, walk out the door, and you will never have to work another day in your life to generate income, because your investments generate enough passive income to sustain your lifestyle forever. In this stage, your net worth is very high. Now, of course, very high is going to be relative to you. Where do you live? Your cost of living of your city? How much do you spend every month? But for you, your net worth is going to be very high. And you don't have to be a senior to get to this point. A lot of what it comes down to is in stage number 3, when you had the cash flow coming in and you didn't have debts anymore. Did you spend your money and blow it on your lifestyle, or did you choose to save and invest? And if you chose option number 2, to save and invest, and you did that when you were young and you've stuck to that plan for many, many years, you can definitely get to this point at a much younger age than 65 or 55. I don't know about you guys, but I have too much that I want to do in my life to retire at 65. Ain't nobody got time to retire at 65. Think about it. If you spent $10 on a coffee way back in the accumulation stage, that coffee has been long digested, the ice cubes are melted, the straw is unfortunately probably in the sea somewhere, and the cup that the coffee was in has been long decomposed in the dump. But if you took that $10 way back in the day and you invested it instead, that $10 would be worth so much more now, and it would be working for you. And so those are the decisions that will determine the age that you can get to this point of financial independence. And when you're just beginning, don't focus on stage 4 or stage 5. Pretend they don't even exist. Just tackle one stage at a time. As long as you're making progress and going in the right direction, meaning that over time your liabilities are going down and your assets are going up, you are making awesome progress, and just keep doing what you're doing. And if you're watching this video and you're older than you'd like to be before realizing this and starting, don't feel discouraged. The best time to start saving and investing is today. It's better to start today than it is tomorrow. So if you've come to this realization and you think, well, I'm too old, I've missed the boat, you haven't. Just get started today and stick to the plan, and you will succeed. And truly what FI comes down to is these small daily decisions day to day that make the difference between being stuck living paycheck to paycheck for the rest of your life versus working towards financial independence. It's really a micro thing rather than a macro thing. Just look at what you're doing day to day, week to week, and month to month. Try to figure out what stage you're at, what your goals should be based on the stage that you're at, and work from there. I hope you guys found this video helpful. Happy New Year, and I will see you for the next one. Bye.